Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level game of StarCraft 2. We need our weekly fix, and luckily it has been provided, as we have Oliveira here in the top left spawning as our blue Terran player, and in the bottom right as our red Zerg. It's going to be Dark. I mentioned it last week, I mentioned it the week before. Dark versus Oliveira tends to be a game that we see at least once, sometimes even twice a week, and I've been very consistent in casting all of these. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're just good, as we're once again on Golden Aura. I feel like every single series that these guys play starts on Golden Aura, and every single time they play on Golden Aura, Dark will play a gasless opener, and once more, Dark indeed is opening with a hatchery on his natural and no extractors in the main base. That means that the third base is going to be taken very quickly. We'll see how Oliveira is going to respond to that. It starts for Oliveira without a scout, or well, yeah, without a scout. This guy surely is just going to build a depot. Indeed, that's going to be the case. And the Reaper first here. No other shenanigans. I feel like at some point Oliveira will need to realize, like, hey, every single time I play this dude on Golden Aura, he opens up without any gas. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 Rex Reaper is a very potent build against gasless Zerg, because there's nothing really that can clear the Reapers in that case. The Reapers can jump around, can have a good old time. Now, of course, it's a hard map to really make any major rotations, as we see. Beautiful. What's this A-move command? Holy crap, it's all over the place. It's gonna move in here right now, finds the first 4 links. Dark attempts this around, doesn't quite get it, splits off 2 more. Goal is always to keep all of your links alive, and I think Dark is going to be doing just fine when it comes to that. Next 2 queens start instantly. Oh, this queen's actually a little delayed. I wonder why that is. I guess because this hatch is so fast. It is what it is. Third CC gets thrown down and, well, didn't quite get scouted. I'm actually surprised that Dark didn't completely commit for that scout. He's just gonna go around right now. It's like, hey, do you have a factory? Oliver's like, yeah, I have a factory. Did you really need to scout that with an Overlord and review where you are? I was like, ah, maybe I was a bit early. And early he was indeed. Overlord's in the main base of Dark, trying to find good spots here on the map, trying to get as much vision as possible. As the Overlord's just poking in, like out and in and out and in. He's having an absolute blast over here. Some mule lands in the net. And this Reaper hasn't achieved very much quite yet. There is a tech lab going down on this little barracks. Gas is fairly... Oh wait, this is the second barracks. I was like, that's very late for Banshees. This can't be Banshee. And there was another big hint that this wasn't going to be Banshee. That's the fact that there's no starport. Sadly, I missed that. I just immediately assumed that this was a Stargate for whatever reason. Instead, it's going to be a 4-car opener into a 2-on-1 type of setup. This is a pretty old school build. I don't actually really like this build. At least I don't think I like this build. Not against what Dark is doing. This makes the early game even easier than it already was going to be for Dark. There's just nothing special here. No unique play. There's no twist, you know? This is just Oliveira doing a card trick, except Dark already knows that the card is in the back pocket. You know, he's seen this trick before. Hell, Oliveira has done this exact trick and the exact same location last week against him probably as well. So it's like, well, is this that great? I wouldn't mind just seeing, for example, a Viking opener into like a 4 Hellion drop, something along those lines. There's no speed after all, or just opening up with a medevac straight away, just a 4 Hellion drop. I mean, there's no speed, and I think you have to abuse that somehow. I don't think you can just sit there and take it every single week again and again and again, because what Dark just ends up doing is he'll end up being, well, 66 workers against a Terran that is on freaking 43 workers. And then my man starts building roaches. He's just going to be up 20-30 supply without anything major happening here. Now, 4 Hellions have been produced, 2 have been left at home despite this being a gasless opener. Oliveira here just completely, I feel like, misreading the game. You leave the 3rd and the 4th car at home in case there are some type of link run-bys, but, well, he's gonna run by with slow links? Like maybe pull a queen across the map? No, of course not. It's not possible. It's not viable. I feel like Oliveira is giving too much respect here to Dark. Dark is a scary guy usually, but he's been showing this exact same build order for about 4 weeks straight now on this map, and Oliveira just doesn't change anything up. I'm very confused, very surprised by all of this. Because Oliveira is one of those players that I rate very highly when it comes to build order intelligence. He's someone that understands what to do against different builds, against different styles, how to counter, how to get ahead even before the game starts. And he's not showcasing that at all whatsoever in this game here on Golden Aura. Gonna get a stim in, 66 drones are out, and so are the first, 15 roaches. One of them is going to get targeted down. And we'll get a marine pickup over here. Overall resources lost in favor of Dark. Oh wait, maybe he saved the roach by morphing it into a Ravager. Because I did see something like that being cancelled. But the thing is, I saw the roach count going from 15 to 14. So I was like, oh, that must have been a roach kill. But I think he just morphed the roach into a Ravager. Then also gets removed from the unit stat. It turns into a little cocoon. Follow-up is going to be straight into melee upgrades. And this has been the preferred method of playing here for Dark. I really like it as well. He's getting that advantage and the safety of the roach, and then instantly saying, but the roach ain't good. The roach sucks. I don't want to have roaches. Like, I want to have roaches for initial safety, and usually that would suck, but this time it doesn't because I already have so many drones. And then I just straight up transition into 1-1 upgrades on melee. Doesn't even bother getting a range upgrade. It's possible that his +1 melee finishes before the metabolic boost does, which would be phenomenal. That would just be great. And here, our man Oliveira is definitely struggling. He's getting a fact speed with a second tech lab. 4 CC is about to finish up as well. His marines are still being produced. 7 overlords all at once. That means that Dark will not be getting supply blocked anymore during this game. And these slowlings will stop this drop from unloading. There's another thing that I really like. There are a lot of things that I like about Dark. His boyish good looks, his charm, solid creep spread, his big brain. But also the fact that he makes the game very simple for himself, right? There are people that would say, well, having all those links in your main base just patrolling the entire time, isn't that a bit of a waste? And Dark says, no, it's not a bit of a waste because I get to use my attention for other things now. I have enough supply anyway. Why would I pretend that I'm fast enough to deal with everything if I can just make it so freaking easy for myself? And that's what he's doing. Look, just as these units pre-split already, main base is completely safe. Where is Oliveira going to hit from? Well, over here at the front, and Dark is just running there. Dark's having a good time trying to keep his creep alive, forcing these rotations out of Oliveira, making sure that he can't stay in one place for too long. Queen is now trying to get here a bit forward, wants to keep this creep alive for as long as possible. And this is, of course, phenomenal. Dark at 200 supply. It's already getting an Ultra Cavern. 8 minutes and 22 seconds in the game. This honestly feels like a carbon copy from the game that they played. I think it was last week. I think I titled it Ultra Rush because the Ultra Cavern was so darn fast. What ended up happening there is that Dark went for a 2-2 timing attack. And it kind of feels like Dark might be setting up for that once more. Except he might want to hit before his 2-2 finishes up. He has 3 Vipers here. They have a crap ton of energy. His creep spread is still sick. There are loads of tanks here. That could be an issue. There's a Ghost Academy on the way, and we have 8 barracks done right now. I think Dark's actually going to wait for the 2-2. Might want to add a couple more Banes and then try and run across the map. Here comes the scan. Well, these Marines will need to be picked up. That scan has been wasted. Does spot this army, though. Starts attacking his own depot. Not entirely sure why. There's also a drop depot. It's a double depot. Very important here. These depots are maybe to lower the surface area that links can get on tanks, or making it harder for banelings to run through, forcing them to clump up a bit more. These Vikings are being sent out right now, and they can definitely help against potential Viper attacks. As long as there's no anti-air on the side of Dark, these Vikings will rule the skies. You don't need a lot of air units if your opponent has no anti-air. It's often the same in the Protoss versus Zerg matchup, where Oracles make it very difficult for Zerg to push out. They either need to go there with Queens, they need to have some type of Hydralisk in the composition in order to move off creep. Because Queens off creep are just not that great, and also they're very slow. And also, even if they were faster, well, then it actually would be fine. But they can transfuse each other off creep. That's the real issue, of course. Spire here on the way. I think it's about halfway done. Yeah, just about. Viper's now moving towards the left side. We haven't really seen a lot of action yet. Just mainly seeing just moves repeating from the week prior. It's interesting, though. It's like we're getting to see a second iteration of the same game here. And this time Oliveira definitely stayed alive for a little bit longer. So I'm pretty sure he just straight up died to that first 2-2 push. And now Dark giving him a bit more respect, saying, hey, I don't think I can quite push into this. Oliveira is still desperately trying to clear that creep. Just sitting back with a bunch of ghosts. Is adding these command centers right now. Dark has already expanded towards the gold. Is on 6 bases. 6 bases, that's true. That's right. Parasitic Bomb is going to connect with 1 Viking. Of course, that is the only realistic form of anti-air that is here in this army. Transfuse is being used on them Vipers as creep tumors are being spread forward. Greater Spire starts just now as 8 more drones get produced. And this golden base is very, very important. If this gold gets outmined early on in the game, it puts an enormous amount of pressure on Oliveira to try and do something on the map. And it also forces him to take this base. Because Oliveira needs the same amount of bases as his opponent, or he needs to start trading very, very well. We're just a very solid building up phase here, about 11 minutes. Look at this setup split. Actually surprised that Dark isn't doing anything. It just doesn't feel like moving in, I guess. He says no, moving in is for idiots. Well, that's a bit mean. I tend to move in all the time. Viking's gonna get abducted into these queens. The ghosts are now pushing the creep back. This is such a slow game, holy crap. Creep tumors being pushed forward, double scans. Drone up here, it's just staring at this. This looks like one of these things you had in, what you call it? In the Harry Potter game that I played. They were called Merlin Trials. They also were like a square on the minimap. This drone's also trying to figure out what the puzzle is here. Yeah, that seems very difficult. Vipers looking for something. Throw some parasitic bombs. There we go. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, 2, 3. Banelings rolling forward. Not necessarily getting great trades, but it also feels like that basically any trade at this point is an okay trade. Creep is more than halfway across the map. Fusion core is on the way, and the Brood Lords are now starting. This gold still mining. This is an issue, or it will turn into an issue. Tank count is at 11. Ghost count at 12. Fusion core and a second starport, as well as a second armory. I'm getting heavy Liberator vibes over here. And I think that the main issue that Oliveira will be walking into fairly soon is the fact that he doesn't have any real reliable anti-air. Ghosts are okay, but they're not great. You need Thors as well often to deal with this. Okay, now we see the first 2, 3 Thors in production. What are the upgrades? We have +2 vehicle weapons already. A couple of scans not quite hitting. Or sorry, and a couple of snipes not quite hitting. As these ghosts are being forced back. Another big scan forward. EMP connects with 1 infestor. That's nice. As this spore wall is going to help out against Medivacs Liberators. Of course also provide vision on these little mines. Although with the bile you don't really need the vision most of the time. Here from the spores moving forward. Broodies trying to get hits off. And gotta start hitting these tanks at least a little bit. Here comes a cloak. Where's them overseers? They're not quite here. So Liberators now siege up. Fungal's trying to connect. As biles will rain down on those Liberators. Queens for cleanup duty. We'll take out both of these libs, I can only imagine. There come a couple of these abducts. Real nice control out of Dark, as well, truly always. Fungal's going to connect here with them cars, with that Marauder as well. Dark just has a huge freaking bank. 62 more links on the way. What's this? Oh my god, 45 larvae. I mean, there are 7 hatcheries in 1 hive. Drone's still just standing here. This guy doesn't know what he wants to do with life. He's like, I would like to be a structure. But I also like breeding. But I also want to be a structure and be part of the greater good. You know? Get going, son. We want this base. What does he do? This base is actually fairly important, so I wouldn't mind if he takes it. Brood Lords here still floating above these spore crawlers. There's 81 workers still mining for our good friend Dark. At the same time, he's hitting the far right side. He's gonna try and take out an orbital. Will succeed. That's a mistake out of Oliveira. No real excuse for that, except just being slow. 25 SCVs go down. It's actually a pretty big deal. Don't think this is very good for the Terran player at all. Oh, he does have 7 orbitals already. He needs to somehow secure a 6th, and it needs to happen relatively quickly as well. Brutes now moving forward. Here comes a nuke! And a couple of snipes as well with it. Does Dark see it? Yeah, I think he did. The nuke is going... Oh, he's going to kill a crab? No! For a second I wasn't sure whether these the little critters also got killed. I wonder what happens if you put a cockroach critter underneath a nuke. Does the StarCraft 2 lore go that deep? Or are the nukes in the future, are they capable of killing the cockroaches as well? I don't actually know. I guess the actual rocket landed pretty much on the crab beetle over there though, taking it out. I can't believe he killed a critter. He legitimately just nuked a critter. Maybe Oliveira isn't aware that you can also just A-move on a critter. They only have 5 HP. Even an SCV one-shots it. Oh, here comes a big attack. Hellbats trying to help out. They helped out, but they also died. This felt like an okay fight for Oliveira. But yeah, I guess it really wasn't. It felt okay though. I looked at it and thought to myself, meh, doable. I mean, most of his ghosts stayed alive. Maybe the fights before were so bad. I hadn't actually checked the units lost until not pretty much this point. Broodlord still just chilling here on top of this forest. The forest strikes back, just like in Lord of the Rings. You take out a crab beetle. This is what we do to your planetary. They spawn like 6 broodlords. How sick would brood there? Oh no. Now he starts nuking the forest? Man, this guy hates nature. Okay, he cancels it. He's like, okay, that's too far. He's like, yeah, I agree with that, Oliver. You can't just go around nuking trees. What's wrong with you? Just try to nuke the trees. It's unbelievable. But then the trees strike back again. Boom, broodlords show up. Hate to see it. This is why you should have nuked the trees. And you were right all along. God, these Terrans. God, these Terrans. Oh! Drone finally turned into a hatchery as a Nidus. Nidus worm is going to be... This is an odd location for a Nidus. Or there's nothing in there either, is there? Yeah, it's empty. This is a fake worm. He's not a real one. Fake worm, but... Oliveira, he just heard the word worm. He's like, worm? Sounds like an animal. Let's see if we can take that out. I hate nature. Awful stuff. Ultra here is just trying to smack up this planetary. Didn't quite work out. Then he got sniped. Traits are practically equal, and that's not a good look for Oliveira majority of the time. It's actually a pretty darn bad look. He's also struggling to max out, as 10 more brutes are on the way. We have 12 ghosts, 3 Thors, and 4 Lips. That's the only anti-air that... Oh no, sorry. We also have a single Marine. Can't really forget about the Marine. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of anti-air. And there is a whole lot of anti-ghost, as we have 4 infestors with this already, 3 more on the way. Just these brutes by themselves, like freaking 15 broodlords. Matching these ghosts one by one. Army value also in favor here of Dark by quite a little bit. As we're gonna see a Hydra then. Okay. Another Nidus worm gets created. Once again, the ghosts show up. It's actually really hate everything that might potentially move. Start scanning. Do we have a... yeah, we have a nuke available. Let me hotkey this. So I can do what the guy in the GSL always did. Whenever there's a nuke, bam, camera hotkey to that thing. Beautiful stuff. Oh! No, he's a Nidus. I just saw something happen on the mini-map. I'm there. I'm there, son. Boom, instantly. There's a lot of links in there. Ghosts are moving back, though. At the same time, broodlords are pushing in forward. There are spores as well as fungals. Yeah, here come links. But there's 2 hellbats and a tank. And honestly, that should do the trick. I honestly do believe that should do the trick. Oh, here comes a nuke. Yeah. Well, went over there. He saw some bushes around. He was like, these guys, they ain't surviving. I can't believe he nuked a critter. Just thinking back of it actually hurts me. I've never been a huge fan of critters, but nuking them, I think it's taking it too far. And we're gonna be here for a little while, I feel like. Even if this base goes down, this isn't a very important base. Oliveira probably wants to have this one, but I think he should just focus on the right side for now. Oliveira disagrees though, and he's gonna start moving in. We don't quite have neural parasites, so maybe with some good Tor usage, he can do this. He is technically maxed out. Well, oh man. almost maxed out. He's close to being maxed out. There's a couple of spines here. Bunch of tanks in the back. Here comes... What? Did he just lose like 10 ghosts for free? I think he did. Couple of Banes going through the bushes. Oh no, it's the shrubbery that took it out and he just taps out? Does that feel early to anyone else? Resources lost. I guess he was down. Whoa. Whoa. Was that really game over? This was obviously frustrating. He had 14 ghosts before this, then he had 6 after, so he loses 8 ghosts there. Like, that sucks. I guess he's very low on gas. Well, I feel like he was in worse positions before already, and he felt like he was cleaning this part up at least. But I guess he didn't want to play no more, and he gives up. Dark is going to win this game. I'll see you all next week once again on Golden Aura to get the 3rd iteration. Let's see if Oliveira will have learned by then, or if he's going to continue playing mediocre builds into camping, and then eventually losing to, well, in this case it was Broodlord, so he survived longer, still lost. So yeah, we'll see you all next week for a new iteration of Dark versus Oliveira. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.